MCOM General and FA Semester 2 Organizational Theory and Behavior, first unit. This is our syllabus, MCOM General and FA Semester 2 Organizational Theory and Behavior, first unit. Introduction to Organization Behavior, Organization, Definitions and Characteristics, Principles of Organization, Organizational Behavior, Meaning, Definition, Factors influencing organizational behavior, Significance, Emergence of organizational behavior, Contributing disciplines, Emerging challenges to organizational behavior, Understanding human behavior, Similarities and dissimilarities. This is our syllabus. Today we are going to discuss. So, first of all, what is meant by organization? Organization refers the work of a group of people is arranged and distributed among members to achieve the business objectives. It is the working together of two or more persons in a coordinated way for achieving common objectives. So, organization establishes the relationship among the people in the enterprises and coordinate their objectives in such a way that all the resources are employed for achieving business objectives. So, organization is a process of combining the work of people working in the enterprise for undertaking various duties and responsibilities. The word organizing on other hand is used for stating it as a function of management, for bringing together human and non-human resources, that is materials, machinery, money, etc., and defining and establishing the authority, responsibility relationship for achieving organizational goals. So, we are going to watch the definition. According to George Terry, organization is the creation of relationship among the persons and work so that it may be carried in a better and efficient way. Next, according to L.H. Hane, organization is the adjustment of various activities for the attainment of common goals. By clubbing these two definitions, we are going to discuss about the organization is a adjustment of various activities for the attainment of common goals of organization. So, next one, characteristic or nature of organization. So, here we have so many different type of characteristics are there. They are division of work, coordination, common objectives, cooperative relationships, well-defined authority, responsibility relationships. These five are the characteristics of an organization. So, first of all, what is division of work? Division of work. Organization deals with the whole task of the business. The total work of a enterprise is divided into activities and functions. Various activities are assigned to different persons for their efficient accomplishment. So, this brings in division of labor. It is not that one person cannot carry out many functions by specialization in different activities is necessary to improve one's efficiency. So, organization helps in dividing work into relating activities so that they are assigned to different individuals. That is called as division of work. Next one, coordination. Coordination means coordination of various activities is an essential as their division. It helps in integrating and harmonizing various activities. Coordination also avoid duplication and delays. In fact, various functions in an organization depend upon one another, and the performance and influence the other. Unless all of them are properly coordinated, the performance of all segments is adversely affected. That is called as coordination. So third one is common objectives. Common objectives. An organizational structure is a means towards a achievement of enterprise goals. The goals of various segments leads to the achievement of various business goals. The organization structure should build around the common and clear-cut objectives. This will help in their proper accomplishment. That is called as common objectives. Cooperative relationship. An organization creates cooperative relationship among the various members of the group. An organization cannot be constituted by one person. It requires at least two or more persons. Organization is a system which help in crafting meaningful relationship among the persons. The relationship should be both vertical relationship and horizontal relationship among the members of various departments. The structure should be designed that it motivates the people to perform their part of work together. That is called as cooperative, common objectives, cooperative relationships. Next, well-defined authority and responsibility relationships. Well-defined authority means an organization consists of various positions arranged in a hierarchy with well-defined authority and responsibility. There is always a central authority from which a chain of authority relationships stretches without the organization. The hierarchy of a position defines the line of communication and pattern of relationships. So that is called as well-defined authority. That is relationship responsibility relationships. Next, principles of organization. The principles of an organization are as follows: principles of objective, principle of specialization, principle of coordination, principle of authority and responsibility, relationship responsibility, principle of definition, span of control, principle of balance, principle of continuity, principle of uniformity, principle of unity of command. These are the major important functions, important principles of an organization. So according to this principle of objective, the enterprise should be set up, contain aims for the achievement which various departments should work. A common goal also devised for business as whole, and the organization is set up to achieve the goal. In the absence of a common aim, various departments will set up their own goals, and there is a possibility of conflicting objectives for different departments. So there must be an objective for organization. That is important. So next one, principle of specialization. The organization should be set up in such a way that every individual should be assigned for a duty according to his skills and qualification. The person should continue the same work so that he specializes his work. This help in increasing production in the concern. Next one, principle of specialization. Principle of coordination. Principle of coordination. The coordination of different activities is an important principle of organization. There should be some agency to coordinate the activity of various departments. In the absence of coordination, there is a possibility of setting up different goals by different departments. The ultimate aim the concern can be achieved by only if proper coordination is done for different activities. Next one, principle of authority and relationship responsibility. The authority flows downward in the line. Every individual is given authority to get the work done. Through authority can be delegated, but responsibility lies with the man who has been given the work. So the superior delegates his authority to his subordinates. The superior is not observed his responsibility. Through the subordinate becomes liable to the superior. The responsibility cannot be delegated under any circumstances. That is called as the relationship responsibility. Principle of definition. The scope of authority and responsibility should be clearly defined. If the duties are not clearly assigned, then it will not be possible to fix responsibilities also. The relationship between departments should also be clearly defined to make the work efficient and smooth. Next one, span of control. Span of control means how many subordinates can be supervised by a superior. Moreover, the work to be supervised should be of the same nature. If the span of control is disappropriate, it is bound to affect the efficiency of the workers because of slow communication with the superiors. Next one, principle of balance. The principle of balance means that assignment of work should be such. Every person should be given only assignment should be work only that much work which can be performed well. The work should be divided in such a way that everybody should be able to give his maximum. Next one, principle of continuity. Principle of continuity means every day there are changes in methods of production and marketing systems. The organization should be dynamic and not static. There should be always a possibility of making necessary adjustments. Next one, principle of uniformity. The organization should provide for the distribution of work in such a manner that the uniformity is maintained. Each officer should be in charge of his respective area, so as to avoid the dual subordination and conflicts. Next one, unity of command. There should be a unity of command in the organization. The command should be from top to bottom for making organization sound and clear. It is also lead to consistency in the directing, coordinating and controlling. The person should be answerable to one boss only. If a person is under any control of other than one person, then there a likelihood of confusion and conflict. So principle of unity of command is very much important.